The science of optical illusions delves into the fascinating ways in which our brains interpret visual information, often leading to perceptions that deviate from reality. Optical illusions exploit the intricacies of human perception, revealing the brain's inherent tendencies and limitations. Understanding the mechanisms behind these illusions sheds light on the complex interplay between the eyes and the brain. 1. Perception versus reality. Optical illusions highlight the disparity between what our eyes perceive and the actual physical reality. Our brains often rely on heuristics, or mental shortcuts, to process visual information quickly. While these shortcuts are usually efficient, they can lead to misinterpretations when confronted with certain visual stimuli. 2. Gestalt principles. The Gestalt principles of perception play a significant role in optical illusions. These principles describe how the brain organizes visual information into meaningful wholes. Common Gestalt principles include proximity, grouping nearby elements together, similarity, grouping similar elements, continuity, perceiving continuous patterns, closure, filling in gaps to complete a whole, and symmetry, perceiving objects as symmetrical. 3. Ambiguity and multistable perception. Many optical illusions exploit ambiguity, presenting visual stimuli that can be interpreted in multiple ways. This ambiguity often leads to multistable perception, where the brain alternates between different possible interpretations of an image. Examples include the famous Necker cube, where the perception of depth can flip between two possible orientations. 4. Color and contrast. Optical illusions frequently involve the manipulation of color and contrast. The brain interprets colors and brightness in relation to their surroundings, and illusions capitalize on this tendency. For instance, the simultaneous contrast illusion occurs when the perception of a color is influenced by the colors surrounding it. 5. Perspective and size constancy. Size constancy is the tendency of the brain to perceive objects as having a constant size, regardless of their distance. Optical illusions often challenge this perception by presenting images that appear to violate size constancy. The Ames room illusion, where people of the same size appear drastically different due to the room's skewed dimensions, is a classic example. 6. Motion and afterimages. Motion illusions exploit the brain's difficulty in processing rapid movement or sudden changes. Stroboscopic motion illusions, for instance, create a sense of continuous motion through a series of still images. Afterimages, where a ghostly image persists after staring at a bright stimulus, result from the way the eyes and brain adapt to different levels of light. 7. Cognitive biases. Cognitive biases, or systematic patterns of deviation from norm or rationality in judgment, play a role in how we perceive optical illusions. These biases can influence our interpretation of ambiguous stimuli, leading to consistent errors in judgment. 8. Cultural and individual variations. Cultural background and individual experiences can influence how people perceive certain optical illusions. While some illusions are universal, others may be interpreted differently based on cultural context or personal exposure to specific visual stimuli. In essence, optical illusions exploit the intricate processes involved in visual perception. By understanding the underlying principles of how the brain interprets visual information, scientists and artists alike can create mesmerizing illusions that challenge our perception of reality. The study of optical illusions not only reveals the intricacies of the human mind but also underscores the dynamic and sometimes deceptive nature of our visual experiences.